Okay. Likutei Halacha Hilchos Tefila Halacha Daled. Hilchos Tefila Halacha Daled. We're continuing with the Ma'aser. So now the Baal Tefila, and what we learned up to now is that kingdom of money, they found this rich person that goes with a staff, that the staff alone is worth than all their gods put together. So he became a king, and he was actually a big tzaddik, was the man of the Melech. And he realized he can't change them yet to tell that money is nonsense. But one thing you are able to do, stop with the korban, stop sacrificing yourself, stop killing yourself, to... Okay. So now, the people of the Medina were talking with the new king, and they talk about the trouble of the day. So these Medina started to talk about this Gibor, so about that big emperor that is in front of them. So this Memuna, this treasury minister, says, "Is this possible? This is the Gibor that I know." And he went and he went out to him, and he asked the people, "Can I meet with them?" He says, "They're going to ask." They went, they asked, and they came, and they recognized each other. And there was great simcha, and they were crying, and the Gibor told him, "You should know, I also saw our Elech about Tefila, our Kosh about Tefila. I also met him. And he also became a king." And the Memuna told the Gibor that he also passed the place of the king and all the people, but on these two, he did not pass. He didn't pass the place of the Gibor, and did not pass the place of the Baal Tefila. And now they discussed this crazy Medina, that everything with them was high tech and money and fame and rock and roll. What are we going to do with them? It's like, it says, they kept such shtuyot that, So the Gibor said to the Memuna, he said to the Baal Tefila that he heard, the Gibor told the Memuna, so I told the Baal Tefila, he said, that the way to get there, there's no way to get people out of Tavis Moment, except through the road that leads to the sword, that you live in. This is the source of the might of the Gibor. This is how you can get them out of it. So they say, something, they negotiated, and now the ceasefire, a little longer. In other words, so the king can come back and says he was successful, give him more time. So, and then they gave again, they also get Simona to one another to be able to communicate in codes, between them. Memuna, came from the Gibor, came to his Medina. And this Memuna Bevada, he admonished them about the bad ways, they're totally into greed. But it didn't help. And it's only because the Baal Tefila already admonished them a lot, and now their king admonishes them a lot, they became totally confused. Now they don't know anything. How we come and we go. They said, something? Fine. You said it's nothing? Fine. Get us out of it. All right? Even though they're all, yeah. Okay, but prove it to us. All right? Prove it to us. So now the Memuna had a strategy how he's going to take them out of it. He's not going to tell them to take them out of it. He says to the people of his state like this, I know the source of the koyach of the Gibor. The Gibor, he gets his might from the sword. He says, so you and me, let's go to the sword. And like this, you'll be able to resist him. And his kavanah is that once they go to the sword, they'll be able to get out, because the only way to get out of greed is by the way to the sword. So, you're on. They accepted it. Let's go. And they went and they sent all the gdolim, all the billionaires and and the owners of Facebook and Apple and Microsoft and Google, they all went with them. Because they are their gods, and they're going around with their private jets and all the jewels and the whole shebang. And they went together. So the Memuna told the Gibor, listen, I'm going with them to the place of the sword. And his kavanah was that perhaps going on the road to the sword, he'll be able to find the king and the rest of his people. So the Gibor said, you know something? I'll go with you. I'll join you. So the Gibor camouflaged himself, so nobody will know. And they went together, this Memuna, the treasury minister, and the Gibor. So he changed them. They went together, and they told the Baal Tefila that they're going. So Baal Tefila says, you know something? I'll also go. So he went, and the Baal Tefila told his people they should daven for it. While he's gone, the should be Mitzliach, and so on, they should find the king. Because all the Tefillas should be able to find the king and his people. Now, he pressed this upon them even more. Now, when he's going with the Memuna, with the treasurer and the Gibor to find the king, they should daven for it. And you can imagine they got together, how happy they were with one another, the three of them. And they go with all the billionaires of their Medina, with all their yachts and all their works of art and Tiffany's and whatever, the Picassos and all. Okay. And they go, and as they go, they come to another Medina, another principality, and there were guards all around the Medina. So this is, what's the story? What's the Medina? Who's the boss here? Who's the king? Who's the king? Who be the man? Okay. So the guard says that when there was this storm wind that mixed everybody else, they chose this. They said the most important thing is chacham, wisdom. So they found a wise man, physicist, a professor, cannot even move, is in a chair, whatever it is, he's the king. They found this big chacham. Now they found an even greater chacham. That compared to him, the previous melech, the professor, was a nothing, was like stupid compared to him. So the melech the previous melech forgave him the melucha, and they accepted him, because by them, the main thing is wisdom, is chacham. So these three, said, the Memuna, the Gibor, and the Baal Tefila, they said, that sounds like our chacham, chacham the king. And they asked him, can we meet him? So they'll ask him, give permission. The three came, they met him, and they recognized. And that chacham was the chacham of the melech. And tremendous simcha, you can imagine the reunion, tearful reunion. Yeah. So they asked him if he knows from the hand of the king, that secret map of all the world. So the Chacham says that the hand is by him. He has it. But from the time that everybody dispersed from the vessel, he doesn't want to look at the hand at all. Only what? Because it belongs only to the melech, to the king. Only what? He copied a few things, on a stone, so you can use it a little bit, according to how he needs it. But the hand itself, he doesn't look at. I showed to the Chacham how he came, and he said, storm wind, and now these people, they found him, they made him a melech, and now he has to lead them according to their shtus, that thing, that wisdom is the main thing. The main thing is tmimus, the main thing is avodas Hashem. So they spoke about this Medina, the rich guys, the guys that worship money. So they said, if we weren't dispersed and lost, except for this crazy, greedy Medina, to bring them back to where they're supposed to be, was worth it. Because everybody became stupid. Those that thought that bodybuilding, and those that thought that strength, those that thought that athleticism, that sports is the main thing, those that thought that, they're all mistaken, they're all wrong. But you can still get them back to the Chochmah Amitis. It says, but even that sect that took the Chochmah, still they took physics, they took outside Chochmas. They didn't take, because from all those mistakes, it is still possible to rectify and to bring them back. Because the Melech said, they told them, you can bring them back from all the types except the one from Tavis Moment. The only way you can do that is through the road that leads to the sword. And the Chacham says, you know something? I'll join you. We'll all walk together. So all four of them walk together. And also there's the gods of the stupid guys from the Kingdom of Money. They all went together with them. Up to now, up to here,